Hey guys, so in this video, I think I'm going to try and illustrate the way to lane versus the Pantheon, um, how to not get completely dicked by this matchup, which historically has been very frustrating for Singed. People or characters like Pantheon who will play the lane and abuse the poke will or have always given Singed a lot of headaches and frustration. But hopefully this video will help people who are new to the matchup and trying to learn how to play versus a demon like Pantheon and just I guess learn how to survive the matchup basically.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay, so I actually queued up for it looks like what happened was uh the Pantheon queued up for jungle and ended up his team put him top.
30 seconds
Arya
until
queued for top,
minions
and
spawn.
her team put her mid, and Lee Sin queued for mid, and his team put him in the jungle. So I'm just gonna switch these around. Um, what ended up happening on our side was that I queued for top mid and got mid, but my Zed was nice enough to let me have top lane. So thank you, Zed. You're probably never gonna see this video, but thank you for letting me have mid lane this game, buddy. I appreciate it. So I'm going to start this game with a level 1
Minions
proxy, just
have
using my
spawned.
normal level 1 proxy strat where I go behind this turret, or in between inhibitor and tier 2, take this wave, then I go in between tier 1 and tier 2 and take one over here, then I go back and execute over here again. So, runes and masteries, I'm running 12-0-18 masteries with Courage of the Colossus because it's great fucking Singed mastery. I know that the guy who made the triple Dark Seal build runs DFT. I'm sorry, I'm just not fully convinced that DFT is just that. I don't think that the little bit of extra damage is worth. I guess it's actually a decent amount of extra damage, but I don't think it's worth losing the tenacity and Courage of the Colossus from the resolve tree. I mean, I have playtested DFT a lot last season and this season. Uh, it just feels so weird not having the tenacity and not having the extra survivability of the Keystone. But I will eventually playtest him more and make a final, I guess not final assumption because things always change in this game, but make an updated judgment on it later on. But for now, I'm going to stick to Courage of the Colossus because it's been working out really well for me, and I think it's really fun mastery. So I want to talk about this rune page that I've been running. Uh, if you've I'm sure a lot of you have definitely been obviously you've been paying attention because you watch the videos and shit. So the rune page, it's armor marks, health per level yellows, AP blues, and MS quints. The most standard singed rune page that I can think of is MS quints, AP blues, armor yellows, and MPen reds. Here, what I'm doing is I'm sacrificing the magic penetration reds for armor reds. You go from 9 armor to 8.2 armor, and then I'm sacrificing armor yellows for health per level yellows, which gives me 216 health at level 18. So scaling health. Uh, and there's a few reasons for this. I don't oh, that was awful flag. I don't personally notice the damage drop off a lot, so I don't think that running I don't think that running armor marks is that big of a loss in terms of damage, and the scaling health allows for Singe to make up for a lot of the HP that he's lost on his builds over the years. Um, Riot has taken health off of Rivalize, they've taken health off of Righteous Glory, they've taken health off of Roa if you still build that, even though I don't recommend building Roa at all. Uh, but yeah, they've done all that stuff, so he's lost health here and there on his kit or his builds. It kind of sucks, so having health per level makes up for that. After what I did, here I'll rewind this just a bit and fast forward through it and show. Okay, so I TP here after execute, and I know that I have my two dark seals, so I can push really quickly, and I know that if he really starts to go hard on me in terms of harass, I can just pop a shield, pop a potion, and be okay. So I want to shove him in, get these creeps at the tower, and start getting this pushing towards me, which is why I played that like I did. Because if Pantheon is forced to sit under his tower and make the decision to either harass you or farm creeps, and he takes the decision to do either, then that means you're winning. Because the way Pantheon wins lanes is he harasses his lane opponent and kills them. But at the same time, if he's harassing you while he's under his tower, that means he's losing CS for it. So either way, it's a net gain if you manage to somehow push him in without losing all of your HP. So once this is pushing back towards me, I can't just like straight up walk up and push because he has enough mana to fight me. And an all-in versus Pantheon is one that Singe definitely will lose. So here I noticed that he started popping his corrupting potion. As soon as I always keep the enemy champion left click so I can see them in the corner over here whenever I'm in game. And I saw that his corrupting potion started ticking. I noticed that he was full health, so why would he pop corrupting potion? He obviously wants his mana back, and he wants a little bit of extra damage to poke me. So as soon as I saw that corrupting potion go down, I just backed off immediately. I don't want to get poked by him when he's gonna make it that obvious. Yeah, it really sucks to play the lane like this, but this is kind of just how you have to do it versus early game Pantheon. If you're not proxying, it's okay. So the thing about proxying, it's not the most reliable strategy, but it can help you avoid this. I just don't like doing it that much because if I were to proxy like say 2 waves ago, Lee Sin 2 waves ago was like right there, and I would have died to him, and it wouldn't have been a very good place to be in. Even though it would have yes helped me avoid the boring laning phase of making Pantheon push into me, but for it being a bad matchup, I'm not down that much CS, and I ended up getting back all the XP and shit from just having him push into me. So I think it was the right decision to make. So here, I know that I have a big creep wave and Pantheon's teleporting in, and I have a potion running. So I fling Pantheon into my creeps, and I damage him quite a bit. And I block enough damage with Courage of Colossus to where he doesn't even like get nearly in kill range. Sorry, I'm tired and shit. So I'm looking at his inventory right now, and I'm noticing that he has 3 long swords. So I'm thinking, or I don't remember exactly what I was thinking, obviously at the time, but I am me, so I know that I was probably thinking, wow, this guy has 3 fucking long swords. He wants to fight and he wants to kill me. I should probably be really careful here. So after I back there, I finish Corrupting Potion, I get my 3rd Dark Seal, ward over this wall whenever you're walking back to lane, so you can see if you're getting cheese from the jungle, because if you go around this wall to ward, you can often just phase into a jungler and die, which is why I ward over this wall, then I use the Blast Flower to go over. So here, I'm going to back up just a bit to show this again. So here, Elise is coming up because she knows this isn't warded because I warded her over the wall with a control ward. Then I pop everything and I just run right for Pantheon. Don't know why he didn't flash. Probably because he didn't think that Elise was there, but he almost just like burst her down. But luckily he dies to my poison and we get the kill, and he dies. And his teleport's down here. So this is really bad for him. Him investing so much gold into these longswords and then dying means that he essentially lost lane to me right there. Because instead of finishing like a serrated Dirk or finishing a Caulfield's Warhammer, he just spent as much money as possible on getting as much AD as possible, and then that not netting a kill means that he delayed a really big power spike or he didn't delay a power spike, he delayed a component upgrade, which helps him farm or helps him do damage in favor of trying to get an all-in kill. So here I'm pinging Pantheon Mia and I'm spamming it. Because usually what Pantheon always does is go bottom, but in this case he doesn't actually go bottom, he goes mid, then he ganks Zed. I don't think Zed was expecting it at all. Okay, so Zed's W actually was down because he uses to farm, and then they just ended up killing him there. No big deal. So Pantheon ended up getting lucky this game and getting a kill when he probably shouldn't have, but even then it's like not that big of a deal because I have a cloth armor now, and a cloth armor boots 3 Dark Seals, and Corrupting Potion means that I have a shit ton of sustain and tankiness, so this Pantheon, even with his 4 longswords, is probably not going to be able to all-in me, especially if I have my ultimate running and my Corrupting Potion charges going. So I noticed that Ari was pushing into mid, so I ran mid and I just cleared, or I tried to clear this as best as I could, but then I ran right back top because there's a big fat wave that's building up and he's pushing into me. Lee Sin cheeses me here, and he, so this is important. I get a lot of in-fight sustain from this build, and as you can see, my health is just like ticking up, which gives me the ability to run after this Lee Sin and try and fight him here. He goes back in on me for his Sonic Wave resonating strike and end up flinging him. I should have just ran straight down this way because Pantheon was chasing me, and once I ran the corner, I'll show you again. Okay, here I should have just ran straight right here because Pantheon is following me, and as soon as I turn the corner right here, he gets in range for a max range Q. But if I just ran straight, he wouldn't have been able to get in range to Q me. He would have had to burn his flash, and I guess he did burn it right there, but either way, he would have had to burn it earlier. It would have just been a better play for me to run it down this way instead of going around the corner and letting him get in range of me. Okay, so itemization. Instead, the item that you generally want to build first versus Pantheon. I don't know if you guys can hear those police sirens right now, but I hope you can't. They're coming for me. Oh yeah, I know, overdone joke, but the item that you generally want. Okay, so I'll explain that later. Here, I know that Pantheon's gonna walk back to lane. He ends up just like bursting the shit out of Elise and killing her really quickly. So that ended up like working out in his favor for better or worse. For better for me because I just got double buffs there. But this is a really interesting play that you can set up with your jungler, is where if you just killed someone, if you just killed the top lane and they don't have teleport, and their tier 1 tower is still up, you can just walk over here with your jungler and then cheese them right here as they walk back to lane with Singed. But he ended up having so much fucking AD because of his stacking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 longswords? Is there 3 or 2 in team? I don't fucking remember, but there's a shit ton of longswords in his build, and he has a lot of damage, and he killed our Elise, who doesn't have like an armor item yet. So here, Pantheon ults bottom, so I see that going on, and I just decided to use my double buff and take this tier 2. It ended up not being a good decision at all for Pantheon. Like, yeah, he got a kill, I guess, but I'm about to get a tier 2 tower out of it, so. Overall, huge positive for me. I popped my ult because I thought that Lee Sin was gonna like kick me and try and all in me. He ends up just backing off, so it worked out. Here, this is another interesting play you can do. You can roam mid on the enemy mid laner if they're overextended like this. Slow them with your W, and I ended up baiting her ultimate out there, and then I just walk away. That's all I wanted to do, is just get her ultimate. But yeah, so back to what I was talking about before we did that weird lane dive up here. The reason that I didn't just go Chain Vest, even though I want Zero at first, is because with Swifty's boots, it's important to have those because I want to be able to get up to here, this area, as fast as possible, since the tower is going to be down. And that will allow me to just pressure the map even better, because what's going to end up happening while this tower is down is my creep waves are going to build to be even larger than usual. Oh, this is actually interesting. I'll show this while I keep talking about this. But we sneak dragon by using this wallflower or blast flower to just get over the wall. But since there's no tower here, these creep waves are going to build up and be fucking huge by the time they get over here. So it's important to realize that Pantheon's going to clear them instantly, and this wave's going to push back even faster than it normally would. So if you have Swifties early on, you can get up there and get the creep wave pretty quickly without losing a whole lot. So here we get into a fight. Pantheon ends up getting bursted down, and then Karma gets super low. Lee Sin flashes for her. I pop my ult. I don't have a Corrupting Potion charge, so I just pray to God that I can get as much damage done as I can. I kite Lee Sin into the Dragon Pit, get a kill. The 3 Dark Steals ended up paying off really, really hard there because it gave me just enough damage to kill 2 people. When without triple Dark Steel there, I would have definitely killed Pantheon, but I would not probably have killed that. Probably would not have killed that Lee Sin. So yeah, early game investment ends up paying off because of the whole efficiency of selling it and all that all that stuff. I've talked about it before, but yeah. So, itemization. Um, Zezerat, I will finish right here, and then I'll go into a catalyst for Reckless Glory. I'm noticing that Zed's getting ganked again, and he dies, so I don't want them to take this tower. I just run up mid, put my Zezerat down here, and this Zezerat mid will stop Ahri from doing a lot. It'll stop her from roaming bottom for it. It'll stop her from trying to, or it won't stop her from pressuring her lane, obviously, but it'll slow her down from pressuring her lane. And I'll use this Zezerat to push this mid tower and keep it pushed and stop Ahri from affecting every lane. The reason that I go Zezerat against Pantheon is because Pantheon loves to leave lane and he loves to not sit in lane and farm. He loves to make plays with his ultimate, get around the map and just shit on people. Um, and since Singed will never ever be as good of a roamer, I just flung him out of his dash there. But since Singed will never be as good of a roamer as Pantheon, it's important to have a way to pressure things while you're not there. And ooh, Zezerat is like the perfect item for that. I guess I could have also went Banner of Command, but Banner of Command is a weird item in that it gives more armor than MR, but the active is made to push against AP champions. It's fucking weird. But I did do a video called Ultimate Map Pressure Sins where I kind of explained this quirky little Zezerat and Banner build that I think is I still think it's pretty good, but it's just not the best one this game because they have a lot of AD threats. So yeah, now that I have this Zezerat pushing mid, my team just kind of groups up with Sivir and they just take that tower super quickly. Let's see what HP they took it from. Actually, I'm curious. So Ahri leaves the lane when the tower is essentially full HP, and with the help of Zezerat, it just gets completely chunked down. So yeah, one rotational mistake from Ahri and her turret's gone. I'm pinging missing on Pantheon because Pantheon is missing. That's very important to do when you're playing versus Pantheon, is letting you know that, hey, Pantheon's missing. He's gonna drop down on your fucking face and shit on you if you're not careful. So team's over here just chasing people through the jungle. And I'm running mid and trying to get pressure on this turret because even when the Zezerat's back here, this is about the maximum range that it has where it will like hit this tower. So that's just another way of like knowing that, hey, even though the Zezerat's in like a not so optimal spot, it'll still annoy you, which is what Zezerat's really good at doing. It's really good at annoying people. It's not the best combat item. It's a good cheese item. Like, Zezerat's not going to win you a team fight, like, ever. Zezerat's not meant to team fight. Zezerat's going to just help you be, like, an annoying piece of shit, basically. Caitlyn face checks, put the W down to get an assist. I'm Singed, I'm helping. And, yeah, you just put the Zezerat down here. Zezerat has an interesting use this game because we have a Sivir on our team, and Sivir just pushes so fast. So I'm not really afraid of putting here because Sivir will clear the wave essentially instantly. I see Pantheon dropping in. I put the W down, fling him into my team. He dies. I'm not sure why he was doing that. Maybe he's just bored. But I start taking the tower a bit. I thought I de-aggro. I guess I didn't, but I just keep diving, fling people in, running through poison. Karma ends up shielding me here, even though I'm low. And I'm sustaining from Catalyst, I'm sustaining from my Corrupting Potion Ultimate. Just doing a retarded tower dive, and it ends up working because Karma shielded me twice, because Karma's a balanced champion. And yeah. So itemization, I don't have a lot of damage this game so far, and the reason that I don't have damage is because I don't really want damage right now. I want the ability to pressure lanes while I'm not there, because that's a good strategy versus Pantheon, which I have Zezerat, and I want the ability to engage a team fight because our team lacks engage very heavily. Sivir ult does help with Singed, R, and Ghost, but it's not gonna like let you be the deciding factor of whether or not you get a pick to start a team fight. Righteous Glory is that deciding factor. And the good thing about this build is that even though I don't have a lot of damage right now, Revitalize is only 2,600 gold now, so once I do decide to build the Revitalize, it's actually like, it's within a reasonable amount of gold that I can probably still finish it if the game went on that long, but we ended up shitting on them. But if the game did go on like maybe 2 or 3 minutes longer, I would have finished the Revitalize too, because of how fed I am. Team's over here doing team stuff. I see this, and so I channel my teleport because I know that Lee Sin's gonna try and be in the fight. The teleport actually ends up zoning him out because he just gets scared of me, and then don't do with this what Saber's doing. She chased all the way up here for some reason and ends up dying. If Saber was an idiot and chased like that, we could have just taken this mid tower and pushed for the inhib, but she ends up being stupid and doing that. But yeah, something I've noticed is that even like last season in a game where you were like 9-0, there's a lot of times where you just couldn't finish. Riley Andrews is so fucking expensive, but now like being this fed, you can actually finish Rallies in a reasonable amount of time. Like 5, 3, and 6 like isn't an outlandish score, but it's not exactly like it's not exactly easy to get a 5, 3, and 6 score in high elo singed, but I think like it's a good reward. Like it finally feels rewarding to actually do well in a game and have your items complete. Okay, so here I'm finishing Subtle Crab just to try and like get vision over the dragon, and Lee Sin ends up queuing in and dying instantly to Elise Karma. I thought he was gonna live for a longer time. And I thought there was gonna be like a big ass fight afterwards, so I pop ultimate. I'm ready to go. I'm singed. I'm gonna fuck you up, but then he just kind of ended up dying, and then nothing happened. So we just finished the dragon after that.
Never falter.
So yeah, I guess I can talk about the build order for the components of Rylai's. Rylai's now builds out of Blasting Wand, Amp Tome, and Ruby Crystal. Uh, that leaves you with a few options. You can go for AP in terms of Amp Tome or Blasting Wand, and you can go for health in terms of Ruby Crystal. Almost always, I will have Righteous Glory before I have Rylai's. So I almost never go with the Health Crystal start for Rylai's. I usually always go Blasting Wand and just start getting the damage component going. But I will say that if you are rushing a Rylai's, it might be better to go Health Crystal first, because Health Crystal, Ruby Crystal, whatever the fuck, that 150 HP, if you are getting Rylai's the first item, is very helpful for like a lane or an early game team fight. So over here, I noticed that my team is just like kind of shitting on them, and this is like an ideal situation of what should happen when you play Singed versus Pantheon. What should happen is you pressure your lane really hard. You holy shit, I'm fast. You pressure your lane hard. You don't get cheese early levels, which is like 1 through 5. That's where I really hope that I illustrated that well and demonstrating how not to get cheese by Pantheon. But you kind of try and follow what I did here. Don't get cheese by Pantheon in lane. Just play it out safely. Let your team know when he's roaming or when he's missing. Get your items going, and then just be a better like team fighter than him, because Pantheon wins team fights by being there before you can. But if you just play it properly and you hinder his ability to make that play, then you hinder his team fight advantage. Uh, so yeah, hopefully that was a pretty decent like illustration of how to kind of avoid his poke, how to kind of like play around him, like by doing the early like 1 through 3 levels 1 through 3 proxy, and then how to have like the right items to kind of sustain from his poke and stuff like that. Generally, you won't play versus a lot of Pantheons unless they're like really good Pantheon players, but it's I thought it was a good idea to make this video, even though Pantheon's not a popular pick at all anymore, just because, yeah, he is kind of a character that has historically given Singe a lot of trouble, and he probably still will, but it's just something that I wanted to illustrate. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and do the liking and the subscribing and the I'm not good at video exits. Bye.